stepped out. We did just step out. We just went.
Same out. No, I get a flat.
Exactly, exactly. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah.
You know what it's in unit? I think it's all spread out.
Goes fast. It's just in my attic. Just throwing. I would save it, but now you like. I said that's how people do it. It's just. You know, I've got some older things too.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, Chairman, we are. Mr. Urkevich, Councilman Delana.
Here.
Mr. Davis. Mr. Kelly. Ms. Lee. Mr. McEnone.
Present.
Ms. O'Leary.
Here.
Mr. Velosin. Ms. Montilla. Chairman Ty. Mr. Rogoff.
Here.
Mr. Cornell. Mr. Leocavella.
Here.
We have a quorum.
First order of business is the memorialization of resolutions, American Pile Driving Equipment Site Plan, Harbor Street, Fairfield, New Jersey, block 59.01, lot .106. What's your favor on this?
Make a motion, we approve the resolution.
All right, second on approving it? Second. Any questions on the resolution? If not, roll call.
Councilman Delana. Ms. Lee. Mr. McEnone.
Yes.
Ms. O'Leary.
Yes.
Chairman Ty.
Yes.
Mr. Velosin. Application granted.
Resolution adopted.
Thank you.
Resolution be the acceptance of the September 11th planning board minutes. Having a first and a second, is there any questions on the September 11th motion? Meeting motion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Communication, there is none. Site plan subdivision hearing, Rumpke Industries 2, site plan, County 302 Journeyman Road, block 58, lot 3.02.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is George Pressler. I'm an attorney at law of the state of New Jersey. I represent the applicant, Jump Industries 2, LLC. This application is for premises located at 302 Journey Mill Road. It is also commonly known as Block 58, Lot 3.02, property located in a SED number 1 zone, which is a special economic development zone, and that is also shown on the official tax map. The applicant is seeking preliminary and final site plan approval and waiver of site plan requirements. In particular, the applicant is asking for bulk variances for minimum front yard where 50 is required and proposed is 47, minimum side yard where 20 feet is required and proposed is 3.92 feet. The application also seeks any and other and appropriate permits and variances and waivers as may deem necessary to approve this application. With me this evening is Mr. Downey, who I don't believe I need to call as a witness. We also have our engineer, Anthony, okay. And again, I don't think that we need him, but in the event there are any questions, he's here to assist. And I have our planner, Walt Hopkins, who is right behind me to my right, who I will call as my first witness, if that's all right with the board.
That's fine.
Yeah, just for the purpose of the record, Mr. Pressler, can you stipulate into evidence 2 professional reports that were generated in this manner, and that would be the report from John Leon Cavallo dated September 10, 2019, the report from Jay Cornell dated September 11, 2019.
So stipulated.
Now, you did that as well back on September 11, which is when we heard this case the first time, so I just want to make that a part of the record. That is that we did hear this case, it was approved. However, I had a misunderstanding about the variances and the waivers. I understood improperly that some of these variances were pre-existing conditions. They were not pre-existing conditions. The only thing that were pre-existing were the site plan waivers that are in 1 through 6 in Mr. Cornell's report on the second page. So therefore, we didn't have any planning testimony to justify granting of the variances under the C2 test. So we're going to do that tonight.
Agreed.
Now, the other thing is that there's also a variance for minimum lot size where 60,000 square feet is required and 42,868 square feet is provided, and that's an existing condition, correct?
That's correct.
However, you've never been granted that variance before, correct? Yes. You were? Yes. Okay, so is that granted by resolution? Yes. Okay, so then that's an existing condition previously granted by resolution. We don't need to hear that. We're only going to hear the other variances for minimum front yard and minimum side yard. And the waivers were already previously granted as well in prior resolutions. Is that correct? Yes. All right, so we'll make those two reports a part of the record. They're in evidence. And this gentleman you want to produce? Sir, you're the planner?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give the board in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, so help you God, or if you don't believe in God, you affirm?
I do believe in God.
I know you do.
But yes.
I have to say that.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Would you set forth on the record your qualifications, please?
Sure. I have had the pleasure of testifying before this board, both as a professional engineer and as a professional planner. I have a Bachelor of Science from Drexel University in Civil Engineering. I am licensed in several states, including New Jersey, for engineering as a professional engineer. I am also a certified municipal engineer and a professional planner in the state of New Jersey.
Chairman, recommend we accept this.
I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Thank
Go
you,
ahead.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Hopkins, have you had an opportunity to view the site that's concerns this application?
Yes, I have.
All right, and would you describe the site and the surrounding area?
I think the board's been oriented as far as the site, and you did a great job of the lot, the block, and the address. It is located on the west side of Journey Mill Road between Hartle Street and Red Oak Lane. The surrounding properties are similar in use. To the north is the lake, and on the other side of the lake are some commercial uses on Hartle Road. To the south is the Z Brothers concrete yard. To the east is vacant, and then I believe the railroad is beyond that. And to the west is actually also a vacant property, the Gillette property, and beyond that is Viking. So they're all similar uses in the area.
All right, now, what planning justification would you offer for the requested relief?
Sure, so I'll just briefly just reiterate for the record that the lot area was previously granted by resolution in 2018 when a minor subdivision actually annexed additional property to that lot. As far as the two other variances that are being created as a result of this application, the front yard variance is 47.42 feet provided, or 50 feet are required. And although this could be attributed to the shape of the property, I believe it also can be granted by the board as a flexible C because the benefits of what is being proposed there outweigh the detriments. There is currently a fenced-in gravel area for storage, and what this would do would enclose that area, and by doing that, it would provide a benefit to water quality because roof runoff is considered clean as opposed to runoff from gravel. The other similar variance is a side yard setback. 3.92 feet is proposed where 20 feet is required. Again, this area is being utilized today. If you go by there, you can, actually it is a little difficult to see because there is some landscaping along there and there is a fence, but this area is being utilized today and we're not encroaching any further into the adjacent property. So again, this can be granted as a flexible C because the benefits similar to the front yard of enclosing this property outweigh any detriment because the community's been acclimated to this area.
And the improvement that's going to be made, will that result in a more aesthetically pleasing site for the plant, for the property?
Yes.
It's in effect going to blend in, correct, with the existing building?
Yes. There's a couple of positive criteria that I think this touches on, specifically in municipal land use law, by providing adequate light, air, and open space. This proposed application is under on lot coverage and building coverage, so it is an appropriate use of the property and without imposing on that. It also advances one of the goals of your master plan, which is to encourage aesthetic and site improvements in the borough's major commercial areas. And again, I believe by finishing this off and continuing the building, it is an aesthetic improvement in this area. As far as negative criteria, in my opinion as a professional planner, these specific variances on this specific property under these specific circumstances, there are no detriments or negative criteria that are being addressed by this because that area is being utilized today.
Right, and your proposed improvements are not gonna create any additional traffic?
No,
All right. And the parking is more than adequate on the property?
that's correct.
And the circular drive or turnarounds are adequate?
Yes.
I have nothing further.
Heard the testimony of your planner, or does anybody have any questions of him?
By the way, I'm sorry. You agree to comply with the terms and conditions of both reports that are in evidence?
Yep.
All right, that's, okay, great.
Again, anybody have any questions of the planner or the attorney? You want to close?
I'll submit.
Okay. You good? Open to the public, make a motion? Second? Have a second? All in favor? Anybody from the public like to speak? Anybody from the public like to speak? If seeing no one, we will close the public portion. All in favor?
Submit.
Submit.
Chairman, I recommend, make a motion that we approve the application and grant the front yard and side yard setback variances as identified in the planner's report and as testified this evening.
All in favor? Roll call.
Councilman Delana?
Yes.
Mr. Davis? Yes. Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. McEnone?
Yes.
Ms. O'Leary?
Yes.
Mr. Velosan? Chairman Ty?
Yes.
Application granted.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll have that resolution next meeting.
All right, before we run out of here,
Very.
old business, new business, and administrative matters. Under administrative matters are December 4th meeting, we would like to move to the next Tuesday, December 10th. And that's when Riverton's going to come in. Can everybody make the 10th? You're out? Okay. You won't be here. How about everybody else? You good, Bob?
Is there something that Wednesday, the 11th?
Mr. Chairman, December 11th is a zoning board meeting, so this room's zoning board hearing. That's why we're looking at Tuesdays or Thursdays, because
What's the other option if you didn't do December 10th?
I guess Mr. Leoncavallo was going to possibly check on the 12th to see if he...
I don't know, I have a meeting on the 12th, I believe,
Yeah,
but it may be carried again, so.
I'll make the 10th if that's the decision. I'll just rearrange my,
So we had the 3rd, 5th, 10th, and 12th, but I think John was the 10th, or possibly the 12th were the two he was available.
I could, the 12th.
Laney, how about you for the 10th? You're good? You're good? Michael's good? I'm good? And we need,
That's
if
Tuesday.
Bobby's good, then we're good, and we get Kelly. I'm looking at Bob.
Email Kevin and Al.
You'll make that work? Okay. So we're gonna move the meeting in December. We're gonna cancel the December 4th meeting.
The 10th is good?
The 3rd was a Tuesday.
Right, the 10th is the one.
And we're gonna go to the 10th,
Going to the 10th.
yes.
I just ask our very efficient secretary if you would
Remind.
hand out the reminders, because I had other plans tonight until I saw your email. Thanks.
We've got to publish notice of that meeting.
Okay. It's the one we've been looking for.
Just so the board is aware, this is not only Bass Pro, they're actually coming in with modifications for Bass Pro They have approximately 310,000 square feet of retail, 81,000 square feet of office, 228 residential units, and 300 hotel rooms. So that's the first phase.
Is that the only thing on the agenda that evening?
At this, that's, I think the intention is to have that. the only
Just
agenda.
for that meeting?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the first phase of the Riverton project. Only 20 years in the making. Okay? That's it? Do we have anything else under new business? Anything under old business? Public portion. Anybody in the public like to speak? Anybody in the public like to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. And I will take a motion to... Thank you very much, Mr. Delina. Second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you.
When's our November meeting?
November
I'll
6th.
send it. So the 4th and then December
Out for
10th.
Riverton? That's gonna be a pretty long testimony there.
Sure it's the 6th?
What's the modification to that?
Take care.
Changing the road alignment and the footprint just slightly.
Okay.
Yeah, not a lot, just some slight modifications.
Okay.
So maybe this is gonna be a reality, huh?
Can't wait.
It's November 6th, but.
Number
We're gonna have,
Then it'll be, okay. I can't wait for Riverton. Like hearing from them.
That's one of those.